Hey guys, so this class is about how to open up the body after a long day of travel. So you may be sitting in a car or a plane or on the back of a motorbike like I was yesterday, and you just might be really tight, particularly in the hips, the hamstrings, the upper back, chest. So this class is all about opening up those areas and actually more about grounding down, especially if you're on a flight. It can be hard to keep yourself grounded after a long flight or just any flight really. So we'll practice a lot on rooting down and then also about opening up those areas in particular that might have tightened up over some many hours of travel. So hope you enjoy.
We're going to start in down dog, so make your way into that position, planting down through the hands, rooting into the knuckles, pressing down through the first finger and thumb in both hands. Maybe bending through the knees to get nice length through the lower spine. That's the most important part, that extension through the spine, especially after a long day of travel. And just taking a few deep breaths here to center and to start class. On an inhale, we're going to rise the right leg up towards the sky, and then we're going to tiger curl the knee in towards the chest on the exhale and plant the foot in between the hands. Drop the back knee down, and on an inhale, we're going to sweep the arms up overhead, biceps by the ears. Bending into the front knee, getting a nice stretch through that left hip flexor. Breathing in, breathing out. On an exhale, drop your hands down to frame the foot. Pick up your knee off the floor, tucking the toes, and we'll rise up into high lunge. So again, we're going to tuck the tailbone under, maybe bending the back knee to see that you can tuck the tailbone under, and then lengthen out through the back leg and get that long, nice stretch through the front of the left hip flexor. Bending in through the front knee. On your next exhale, lower the hands down towards the earth. We're going into 4 points of lunge. So on an inhale, shine the heart forward, bend through the knee. Exhale, lengthen through both legs, round the spine. Inhale, bend in through the front knee, shine the heart forward. Exhale, lengthen both legs, round. Inhale. Exhale, lengthen. Last one, inhale. Exhale, step back to downward facing dog. Inhale, raise the left leg up towards the sky. Exhale, tiger curl the knee in towards the nose. Plant the foot in between the hands. Drop the back knee down. Bend in through the front knee and inhale, rise the arms up towards the ceiling. Or the sky in this case. Bending in through the front knee, getting a nice stretch through the right hip flexor. Rising up through the fingertips. When you're ready, exhale, plant the hands, tuck the toes, lift the back knee up, squeeze through your inner thighs, and inhale, rise up to high lunge. Exhale, bend deeper into the front knee. We're going to tuck the tailbone here, so maybe bending the back knee slightly so you can lengthen out through the lower spine as much as possible, and then lengthening out, straightening that back leg to get the stretch through the psoas, through the front side of the body. And then exhale, lower the hands, going into 4 points of lunge. Inhale, bend deeply into the front knee. Exhale, straighten both legs, round the spine. Inhale, lengthen out, chest goes forward. Exhale, lengthen both legs, round. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, round. Inhale, come forward, and then exhale back to downward facing dog. We're going to ripple forward into plank here. Hold. And then exhale, lower yourself all the way down through the floor through chaturanga arms. Going into Sphinx pose here is to really open up through the front side of the body and also the upper back. So planting the elbows in line with your shoulders, palms face down towards the mat, energetically pulling your elbows back towards your hip bones and pulling your chest forward through both your arms. So gaze stays down to protect the neck, and just energetically pulling your elbows, sliding them in your imagination down past your mat to get that opening through the upper back. Then when you're ready, we're going to push back to child's pose. Wide knee here, so knees as wide as the mat, toes to touch, hips sink back. Hands are shoulder width apart and forehead gently grazes the mat. Opening out through the hips, lengthening out through the spine. On your next inhale, we're going to rock forward onto our hands, tuck the toes, and push back to downward facing dog. In your own way, we're going to jump forward or step forward into Malasana, into yogic squat. So feet are as wide as the mat, toes slightly pointing out. Drop the hips down towards the mat and then bring your elbows to the inside of your knee, hands to heart center, pressing the elbows into the knee, knee into the elbows. And then we'll go into a little bit of loaded mobility here. So pressing your right elbow into your right knee, we're just going to do a little bit of a push-pull. So push your elbow into your knee and see how wide you can get your knee. Just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Pause in the center. And then do the other side. Left knee going out and in, seeing your range of mobility. And then back to center, raise your hands out in front of you and then plop your bum down towards the mat. Going into open Janu Sirsasana. So bring your left foot into the inside of your right groin. And then drop your right elbow to the inside of your right knee, maybe bending the knee to make that happen. And then inhale, rise your left arm up towards the sky, and then exhale, bring the bicep towards the ear, lowering over towards the right side. Nice stretch through the side body. After a long day of travel, that will feel really nice. It tends to shorten on the sides when we sit for a long time. When you're ready, come back towards center. Place both palms face down onto your thighs. Just take a moment. And then over to the other side. Bringing the elbow to the inside of the knee. Inhale, rise the right arm up. Exhale, bring it over towards the left side, opening out. Now, if you can bring your hand to touch your toes, perfectly cool. If not, I have really tight side body, that's fine too. It's more about the opening through the chest, reaching it up towards the sky instead of rounding down to touch the toes. And then inhale back to center, pause. And we come back towards the front of the mat, going into deer pose here. So bring your right leg into a 90-degree angle so your shin is parallel to the front of the mat, and then your left leg is in a 90-degree angle so it's parallel to the side, your shin's parallel to the side of the mat. Both knees should be in line with your hips here. And then inhale, extend through the crown of the head. Exhale, bend over the right thigh. Maybe your forearms come down to the floor. Maybe your forehead comes down to the floor. Or maybe you're up on your hands. Just allowing the stretch through the hips, a place that gets particularly tight. And then inhale, back to center. Switch sides here. So your left shin should be parallel to the front of the mat, knee in line with the hip. Right leg's in a 90-degree angle. Shin parallel to the side of the mat. Inhale, extend. Exhale, fold over the left thigh. Keeping the breath fluid. And with every exhale, releasing tension through the hip. Inhale, we'll come back to center. Bring both legs out in front of you. We're going to lower down onto the floor. So with control, just lowering yourself down. And we're just going to do, if you have a block near you or a towel, place that underneath your sacrum. We're just going to do supported inversion here. Having your feet up towards the sky, flexing the toes back towards your face so that your legs are perfectly in line with your hips here. Almost like an L shape. If you have a block to support and raise the hips, that's great. Otherwise, just keep your legs or up against a wall. I'm just doing this to reverse the blood flow, stir up any stagnation in the body. It's also super calming and super restorative pose. Travel can be quite stressful, so allowing yourself that space to just rest down and reverse the cycle. And slowly bringing the knees down, legs down. Going into gentle twist here, so hugging the right knee in towards your armpit, giving it a good squeeze. And then exhale, bring the right leg over across the body towards the left side of the mat. Opening out through the chest, bring the right arm into a 90-degree goalpost arm to open out through the pec minor. If you've been sitting for a long time, you most likely have been rounding through the spine, which makes the chest tighten up, the chest muscles tighten up. So it's good to open this part of the body up. And then exhale, release, bring the left leg in towards the chest, giving it a good squeeze near the armpit. And then exhale, bring the left leg over to the right side. Again, opening the left arm into that 90-degree goalpost arm. Feeling the stretch, not only the twist through the spine, but also the nice stretch through the outer hip. And then back to center, dropping into Shavasana here. So legs are outstretched, arms, palms facing up. I invite you to simply pause this video and stay in Shavasana for as long as you want, 5-10 minutes. Allowing yourself to ground down after many hours in the air or a long car ride, allowing yourself to simply ground down. And then when you're ready, unpause the video, keep it going. We'll just meet in Sukhasana, easy pose. Take a few breaths. Inhale up the spine. Exhale down the spine. Again, you can pause here and stay as long as you like. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you have a beautiful trip and a safe journey. Namaste.